Hello everyone, this is Akanksha from English Logger. Today we are going to discuss about adjectives and how to form adjectives. What are adjectives? Adjectives means to add stuff to describe a noun or a pronoun or to give extra information about noun or a pronoun. It means that it is a modifier which gives extra information about a noun or a pronoun. Then we discussed about types of adjectives: quality, quantity, number, color, demonstrative adjectives, interrogative adjectives, and then we have discussed about degrees of comparison, that we have 3 degrees of comparison: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. What is positive degree? It means that when we have its base form, then we are not comparing anything, and that is positive degree. And comparative degree, when there's a comparison between two things or two persons, that is comparative degree. And what is superlative degree? Superlative degree means when we are doing comparison, but we are doing comparison between more than two persons or two things or more than two things. Sarah is the most beautiful girl in the class. Ram is taller than Sham. He is the tallest in the class. He is the most handsome boy in the class. What am I doing over here? I have given you 4 sentences. In each sentence we have an adjective. But after or before adjective we have had something like er, est, more, most. What are these and how to use it, how to differentiate, where to use er, where to use est, where to use more and most. In this tutorial we are going to learn about this, how to form an adjective. So let's start. So here we start with how to form an adjective, that is, generally, we get comparative and superlative degree by adding er or est to its base positive degree form. It means that if I have tall, then it's taller and tallest. If I have happy, happier, happiest. Er and usage of est with positive degree form, generally we can see like that changes in comparative and superlative degree. We used to add er or est after, whether it is comparative degree or superlative degree. If it is consonant or vowel, we can see in the next slide. Here you can see example, like in positive, sweet. When it comes as in comparative, but I have added over here er and it becomes sweeter, then sweetest as superlative degree. Similarly, small, smaller, smallest, tall, taller, tallest, bold, bolder, boldest, clever, cleverer, cleverest, kind, kinder, kindest, young, younger, youngest, great, greater, greatest, and so on. These are the examples when we have to add er or est in comparative and superlative degree. Here we have rule 1. When the positive degree ends with e, then r and est are added in comparative and superlative degrees. For instance, in positive we have brave and with e, then in comparative it becomes braver, and in superlative est we have added bravest. Large, larger, largest, fine, finer, finest, able, abler, ablest, noble, nobler, noblest, wise, wiser, wisest. These are the examples when the positive degree ends with e. Now we have another rule. When the positive degree ends with y, then y changed into I before er or est. For instance, in positive degree we have pretty. Pretty, in the spell of pretty we have y at the end. So pretty, prettier, prettiest. Y changes into I before ER or EST, as you can see over here in this table given. Lazy, Y. When it comes in comparative, Y changes into I before ER, and similarly in superlative, I and EST. Greedy, greedier, greediest. Lucky, luckier, luckiest. Heavy, heavier, heaviest. So these are the examples. When you have Y in positive degree at the end, that changes into I before ER and EST when it changes as comparative and superlative degree. Another rule, when positive is a word of one syllable. Here what is syllable? It's a vowel sound. Now you have to count sound like red. R, re, 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 re. A sound is coming, single syllable, and ends with consonant, that is D. D is consonant. We have total 5 vowel A, E, I, O, U. So if any sound of vowel is coming and that too is single sound, that changes into double and before ER and EST. For example, like red, sound of one syllable, one vowel is coming over here, then in comparative, consonant D, it will be double in spell. It is redder, R-E-D-D-E-R, and in superlative, reddest, D-D-E-S-T. Before ER and before EST, we have to make double consonant. Then big, big, single syllable sound is coming, and again it changes into double G-E-R and double G-E-S-T. Next is hot, hot, hotter, hottest. Thin, thinner, thinnest. Fat, fatter, fattest. Sad, sadder, saddest. I just hope that I have cleared you about syllable sound, how you have to count one single sound is coming or two sounds of syllables coming in a word. Now, when the positive degree has two syllables, then more and most used before comparative and superlative degree. In comparative, we have to use more, and in superlative, we have to use most. Like beautiful, B-U-T-full. Here, the sound of two syllables is coming. Then in comparative, it becomes more beautiful, and in superlative, most beautiful. Same with famous, most famous, difficult, more difficult, most difficult. Courage, more courage, most courage. Industrious, more industrious and most industrious. Next we have irregular comparison. What is irregular comparison? It means that when we are making comparative and superlative degree, we are not forming with positive degree. That is entirely different from positive degree. For instance, good, better, best, bad, worse, worst, little, less, least, much, more, most, late, later, least, old, older, oldest, and elder, eldest. Many, more, most, far, farther, farthest, and far, further, furthest. These are the example, and many more are there. These are the, when you have anything such like you are not using positive degree when you are making comparative and superlatives. So these are the examples of irregular comparison. Now here we have things to remember. Here are few adjectives like later, latest, later, last, where to use and how to use it, how to identify. Like later and latest we have to use when you are talking about time, later and last for position, elder and eldest for persons, like he is elder to me and he is the eldest to me. Older and oldest, when you are thinking about any person or when you are talking about anything, so older and oldest you can use with both, for the person also and for the things also. Like I have an old pen with me, or I have the oldest pen with me. This pen is older than that pen. And same with person also, he is older to me, he is the oldest, and so on. Like next we have farther and further. Farther and further for distance, and further when you are adding something additional. For additional you have to use further. In this tutorial we have learnt about adjectives, its types, degrees of comparison, and how to form adjectives. If it is your cup of tea, give me thumbs up or subscribe my channel. Thank you and have a nice day.